Well, we're at a critical juncture because whereas Julian's extradition case has dragged on for now over 4 years, we've just 3 weeks ago heard back from the High Court, a single judge who, behind closed doors, dismissed Julian's application for permission to appeal in a decision that was just 3 pages long. This was a dismissal of an application that was 152 pages long. So you can imagine what that ruling looked like. Julian is now at the final stage of his appeals, in the sense that his avenues have narrowed dramatically, and he just has one barrier to being extradited at this point, because the High Court has refused his application to have a full appeal hearing. He can now apply to a separate panel of 2 judges at the High Court to say that the first judge got it wrong. This is a case in which Julian should never have been in prison in the first place. And if the justice system had actually done what it should, it would have been dismissed, and he would be a free man. So the first thing to understand is that this is a political case. It's politically driven, it's politically motivated, and it is in its on its face political, because Julian is being prosecuted for having published evidence of US military, US officials committing and covering up war crimes, committing torture, corrupting the judicial processes of European countries, in Germany and Spain, in Italy. I raise these countries because of specific cases that I'm thinking of, but the evidence is of a system of impunity and of subversion of international legal obligations and protections that protect human rights and protect victims, and a system of that the US has imposed behind the scenes to get away with murder, quite literally. And that is really what is going on. That Julian opened the curtains to how this actually happens, and there is a revenge that is taking place through the abuse of the legal process to hound him, to keep him in prison, to make an example of him, so that the rest of the press, not just the press, but everyone else, gets the message that if you actually try to exercise your rights, if you actually try to expose the abuser, then you will be punished, and you will be silenced, and you will be imprisoned. So that's the real situation. The legal situation is just a dress up. What's it called? A dressing stitch up. Pretending like there's some kind of fairness or process or whatever you want to call it. But the reality is that we have evidence of grave criminality, and the guilty party is the US government, and that is the government that is keeping Julian in prison and that wants to keep him in prison for the rest of his life.